Hello and welcome back. It's been a little hectic, but I did take a couple of days to just kind of take a break and do some of the things that I find the most fun. And of course, some of that is thrifting. So I checked out three stores that are new to me. And then one day we ended up going back to hometown. And of course, I had to hit two of my favorite thrift stores there. So, since I've been working on mindful thrifting and really being strategic about what I buy and particular about what I purchase instead of just buying everything, because you get that feeling when you're at the thrift store. This is a once in a lifetime. I'm never going to find this again. And so I'm trying to be very thoughtful about what I purchase when I go and to leave behind some things that I'm just not absolutely in love with. So let's check out what I did not buy when I went to all these thrift stores.
So once I get a cart full of items, I always try and kind of organize them as best as possible. This trip or all of these trips were just tops, so I try to organize it into long sleeves, short sleeves, sweaters, uh, t-shirts, however categories I can get them into. And then these are my no's. This merino wool sweater had a snag, and then some of these were too small and some of them were too big. So those were my definite no's. This was sadly also a no. This is some great advice from friends here. And then who doesn't remember the line from Phoebe about she's your lobster? And then these are my maybes. So I always just take another look at these. And then I have a pile of yeses. Day two of thrifting at my favorite store in my hometown. And these were all of my no's and some cherry prints. The cherries were white, and that was pretty cool. And then I liked the embroidery on that vest, but it was too small. A basic long sleeve shirt that I would probably be able to find elsewhere. This was too big. This was also too big, but the ruffles were cute. Another basic tee that I would probably be able to find elsewhere. This sweater was pretty awesome. It's silk and cotton, I believe. And the orange and the pink and the red seemed like it wouldn't go together, but it was actually pretty cool. I don't need another beige sweater. And then the white sweatshirt, Hanes sweatshirt, that's pretty basic, so I'd be able to find that again. Day three, and there wasn't much at this thrift store, but these are my no's. And the last top here, I'm not really sure what the heck I was thinking when I tried that on, but it was awful. Since it's Florida, of course, there's Disney shirts. And some of these tops, they're flowers, and I never feel 100% comfortable in flowers. And then some of the colors just did not look right on me. And some stuff, even though it looks like it's really big, it didn't fit. It felt too small or too tight. And then I was going for texture as well. Again, another beige sweater. This one felt really awesome on, but it had a stain on it. And then I was, again, looking for girly items. So flowers, ruffles, lace, interesting hemlines or sleeves. And that linen shirt was sadly too big. Another basic sweatshirt. I always kind of gravitate towards things like that. Polka dots, but these polka dots had, the dots were actually hearts. So that was really cute. The ruffles around the top, but that top was too big. And that one was too small. And the color was pretty interesting, but I'm not sure if it would have looked right on me. Found more cherries. That one was too big, and this one was too small. And then this top, I've never seen one like that, but it was a pretty interesting neckline and a hemline, but it was too small. And the eyelet detail, plus it was missing the belt that came with it. A sweater vest that's obviously not girly. Pretty sure I found that in the men's section. And I liked these sleeves, but they hit weird. I'm not a 3/4 length sleeve girl. And then this jacket, I didn't even end up trying it on because I couldn't even get the buttons undone. And this was a pretty nice little cardigan, but again, a no.
All right, so not everything that I ended up purchasing was for me. I did find some things for Robert. He's pretty standard with his colors. He sticks to like blues, greens, beige, gray, stuff like that. But I did find, yes, 100% merino wool sweater. And I figured, I was like, well, if he doesn't like it, then I like it. It fit me. So maybe it's a twofer. And then I found a bunch of long sleeve shirts for him, collared, that he can wear for work or as overshirts to church, um, or if it's a little bit cooler out. So there was a gray one. And then I found these at one of the newer thrift stores to me. It's called Long Distance, and these are 100% cotton as well. And so I found beige and a green one, and I think a blue one as well at the same thrift store that I found the gray one, and they were each $1. And that's what I like about thrift stores, is you can try out different brands, and if it's a well priced thrift store, if it's like actual thrift store prices, then you can find some really good deals. So $1 for those shirts each. And then also found this, again, 100% cotton, Arrow Blue Jeans Company. Never heard of it before. And then this one as well. This is from H&M. And I'm not really big usually with H&M, but this was actually a really nice shirt. And this is also 100% cotton. So just because the label might be like a fast fashion label doesn't mean that sometimes you can't find really good quality items there. And I've been reading this book. I, of course, found it at a thrift store. And in here, I'm not very far, as you can see, but he has like discovering your image profile. And then there's a couple of questions. There's 10. And then there is 6 different basic image profiles. And then he breaks them down and has like buzzwords. So if you've ever kind of done I think it's Alison Bornstein, the 3 words to describe your style, he has these as well. He has options here on the side. And I took that quiz, and when I had done the Alison Bornstein, I had picked classic, minimal, and undone as my options. And I was like, classic. And then when I took this quiz, I got like almost no classic. Mine was evenly distributed between casual and romantic, which I never would have pictured myself as with romantic. But then once you start looking at those style words that he has, so I picked 3 from each category or each style profile. And so I picked that I wanted practical, natural, and comfortable. And then I also wanted pretty, feminine, and soft. When I said classic before, what I meant was like modest or feminine. And so that's why I really like this book so far, because it's helping you narrow it down maybe a little bit better. And especially if you're between 2 different kinds, because I definitely was not dramatic. I will watch some people like Beth Jones. If you haven't checked out her style channel, I'll leave a link for it down below. She's definitely dramatic and a maximalist, which I'm not either of them, but I definitely envy her style. I just don't feel like I can pull it off. So within my 2 categories, how can I maybe pull off better style? And so that's where I'm kind of headed with all of this. And so I've tried to be very mindful about what I'm thrifting. But here's what I picked up for me. I found this wool sweater. It's a zip up. And then I've been wanting a Fair Isle sweater, but I think everyone wants Fair Isle sweaters. But this isn't a Fair Isle sweater, but it's got some of that, maybe like some of that detailing to it. It's got the pink in it, which I feel like is maybe along the lines of feminine, because obviously most guys are not wearing pink, but it still has my colors of black and white and gray in it. But then it has a little bit of extra detailing to maybe make it feel a little bit more feminine or soft. And something that is definitely different for me is there is a very long kind of cardigan. It doesn't zip up, it doesn't button, but it has this embroidery on it. It's really pretty. But to have still my standard gray cardigan, but to have it be maybe a little bit more dramatic or a little bit more romantic with the embroidery, and that it's flowing. More pink So got this. It's a pretty basic standard sweater, but the sleeves are see-through, thin, sheer, with a little cuff at the bottom. And it's comfortable. And yet I feel that it's like feminine with the color. And so, again, trying to kind of combine those two style personality images of casual and feminine at the same time. This one is more of the relaxed, comfortable, maybe not quite so feminine. It's a universal thread, which I think is from Target, if I'm remembering correctly. But it's really nice. So it's 55% linen and 45% rayon. So you can't always go by the tag with this. The brand, like I said earlier, sometimes you can just find really good, um, comfortable clothing at fast fashion. But I got this button down striped. I like stripes. I decided to try stripes that are vertical instead of horizontal, which is a little different for me. I normally don't like button downs, but I don't like the button downs that are super structured. So I think that's where I came to the realization that maybe classic isn't my word. I was looking for more like modest instead of classic, because when I wear a blazer or a very structured collared button down shirt, I feel very uncomfortable. And so I don't end up gravitating towards those. I buy them thinking, oh, I'll wear them. And then I don't, because people are like, oh, this is an essential for your closet. Well, it's an essential for them, not for me. And so I'm not buying those anymore. But to have something that's like this, that's relaxed, that's comfortable, that's maybe a little bit soft, soft feeling, maybe not necessarily like a soft or a flowy or a feminine kind of a look or a top, but it's definitely comfortable. I don't normally gravitate towards red, but this was one I was trying on a ton of. I pretty much only found red and pink when I was at my favorite thrift store down in Central Florida. And I ended up with this LL Bean. It's a Pima cotton and spandex, and it's kind of like that wrap style. So for me, it's like a feminine kind of a look, gives you more of the illusion of a waist, but I'm gonna have to wear something that's under it. And so I have like the little things that you can wear sort of like a bra, and then it can kind of cover. So then that way you're being modest. There's a lace element, but it's not this super layered, very hot because it's Florida. Red, I'm not 100% sure if red is my color, but I'm going to try it. Sticking with the feminine, I got another pink shirt. This one is with eyelets. It has sort of like not quite a flutter kind of a sleeve. It's from Loft. And then I liked the scallop bottoms. I'm going to try with this color. This is maybe outside my comfort zone with color, but again, I liked that there's like the ruffles, the little bit tie here. It feels modest because it's not going to come down too low. And just a plain uh, white, but I like the square neck. And this is from Old Navy. And it's long sleeve. It's got a little bit of a texture to it. And I think I like the details that are texture and not necessarily a pattern. Um, I really want to like florals, but I don't think that I do. Every single time I try on a shirt that's a floral, I don't feel comfortable in it. I liked this with the texture and then the square neckline, but square necklines, that's a big 90s kind of a look. And then again, it's modest, and it's maybe not the most feminine top, but I liked it that it could be layered as well. More pink, got a pink sweater. This was super comfortable. It's from Nautica, and this is a small, which I normally don't wear smalls, but this is why I check like every area of the thrift store, because you never know what size. It's just, I would never think that I would be wearing a small, and then some brands I wear an extra large. But again, this is super comfortable sweater, 100% cotton. And then just with the texture up here with the ribbing, and then not a super feminine shape, but the color. And so I feel that this is going to be hitting the comfortable, feminine, soft kind of a look. This one I actually found at one of the thrift stores that I really love down in Central Florida. I did not try this on. And Robert and I were there looking for something for him. And we found something for him. And then, of course, as I'm walking down in the area with the women's, I'm running my hand along the shirts and the sweaters, and I came across this, and I could just tell by the feel that this was going to be awesome. And so it's purple, and it's just a quarter zip, and it is from Saks Fifth Avenue. This one is an extra large. And it's 75% silk, 20% cotton, and 5% cashmere. And so sometimes you can just tell with running your hands down the on the clothing, just the feel of the fabric. You can just kind of tell. But I really liked the color. It's not a feminine shape, but the color and just the comfort and the softness of it. Again, I was trying to pick things that hit 2 to 3 of the style words that I had chosen out of the book. This one, I'm not sure if it hits any of those. I think I bought this before I was going through the book. It's from a brand called Love Tree, which I've never heard of before. It is a soft sweater vest, but it's literally 100% acrylic, which I'm not 100% sure I like that it's acrylic, but the fit, the softness of it, I thought it was pretty. I like argyle, and so I found an argyle sweater vest. And it has the light blue in it, which I like. It's one of the few patterns that I do actually gravitate towards. I usually go for stripes, polka dots, argyle, or the Fair Isle. I generally try for texture rather than pattern, and I really liked this. And then this is probably not hitting any of those style words, but I really liked the feel of this sweater. It's 100% cotton. It's basic editions, and it's kind of like the fall and winter colors, and it has a really nice texture to it. So just kind of a basic mock neck, but it's got the maroon, the green, blue, white. I really liked this sweater, and I will be able to wear this to work or to church. It's modest, it's comfortable, it's got that soft feel to it. It might not have that soft look to it with the feminine, but it's definitely a comfortable shirt. If you have any suggestions for what I should probably be trying to look for when I'm at the thrift store to kind of hit that romantic look, so I had put soft, feminine, pretty. That's not what I normally gravitate towards. And so I feel like I'm having a really hard time finding those things in the thrift store, that I always end up gravitating towards stripes or boxy shapes. So if you have any suggestions, because whenever I look, I've seen shirts with ruffles on it, but they're at the sleeves or at the shoulders. And I feel like if I have bigger sleeves, puffier sleeves, it just makes my shoulders look a little bit broader than they actually are. I need to figure out what else I can be purchasing or looking for to hit that romantic feminine look other than just by color. If you have any suggestions, please let me know in the comments below. I'm glad you joined me today, and I will see you next time.